Hi, Holly. Hi, Cassandra. Nice to see you, ladies. I'm going to share this real quick. Then we'll get into the reading and then talk about independence and how that is paramount to co creation. It's going well. It's been so busy since I woke up this morning. Hey, Anna. I haven't been able to catch my bearings really. My car got finished last night. I'm so thankful. And Mikey had me meet him at Jay's house so I could drop Jay's car off. Hi, Ben. And then I could take Mikey home and then come home myself. So I did that. And then I ended up, Mikey's aunt and uncle are in town today. So even though I'm going to be on the podcast while they're here, I love them to pieces. Uncle Donnie and Aunt Pat. So I came home and grabbed a skin serum for Aunt Pat because she loves all my stuff. And then I swung it back by Mikey's. And then I was like back and forth a couple times, unloaded my car because I had a trampoline back there. And then had to scramble to try to get ready. Yeah, it was a good time. So, and then after the podcast, I've got to go to town for groceries and for weed. So, the girl's got to have her things, right? So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to be busy until I flatline tonight. Just kidding. That's not going to happen, but okay, what am I doing with my life? Here we go. Hey, Matt. Hey, Suzanne. All right, guys, I was sharing, trying to get everyone tagged so everyone could make it. Who did I miss? Suzanne, Matt, Ben, Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Hey, Katie. I don't want to update you, computer. Not right now. Okay. How's everybody's weekend been going? Mine's been busy. I got some seeds started, so I'm excited for my little baby sprouts. Hi, Kara. Oh, you're driving? Okay, well, don't comment unless you stop at a stoplight or something. But I sent Kara some pictures of my plants. Was it last night? Yeah, it was because we had a big storm yesterday. It was like a couple of storms that came through. Thunderstorms. So nice. Lazy, good, Holly. We all need to rest up for sure. I did spend quite a bit of time resting, but I also did spend some time with my plants and my seeds and sowing my little seeds. So I have them all in some clear containers in front of windows so they can get sunlight because it's so cold outside. It hailed last night. We had a huge storm last night come through. And oh, it's Mother's Day in the UK. Happy Mother's Day to all you UK mommies. Um, Thank you for letting me know that, Katie. But yeah, so I got a lot of stuff done and I've got even more seeds to sprout. So I'm going to go get, while I'm at Walmart today, I'm going to get some other things for all my babies. So I'm going to have a huge, like all around my house is going to be basically a garden. That's my plan. So yeah, it's been a little busy for me, and I know I have some messages. I'm not sure how many or from who all is in there. I will get to those today before I go to town because I don't get reception whenever I go to town. While I'm in town, actually, it's the craziest thing. I get the greatest reception here in this tiny little podunk town, but when I go to the big town, they don't have towers for T-Mobile there, so it's super low service. Oh, your boys spoiled you. Good, you deserve it. I'm so glad, Katie. All right, let's get into the reading. We've got quite a few of you in here already. And you guys know I always repeat myself, so we'll make sure everybody gets the gist. And this is excellent, actually. It's pretty perfect with this bottom of the deck, well, both bottom of the deck cards over here. It's so funny for the topic because We're talking about, the title of today's show is Empowered Alone, Unstoppable Together, which we have to be empowered within ourselves in order to be able to consciously co-create with others. Hey, Lisa. So that's what we're talking about, is getting independent with ourselves and then creating with other very independent people who are all self-sustaining, but we can collaborate so much better when we come together. That's the gist of it. We'll talk about more. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but bottom of the deck energy here, and then I see the card behind it, and I'm just grinning. Codependence. We have codependence showing up for us on the bottom of the deck with fixed emotions, feelings, and expectations. Then we have right behind that shadow self, repression, lack of awareness, guilt, shame, auto responses to issues. So the shadows of codependence may be surfacing, whether that's with you particularly or with other people that are being codependent on your energy. Um, it surfaced quite a bit in the collective energy from what I've noticed, just from a lot, not just, because I haven't even been on Facebook really, but with people that I know, and things that are happening with them in their lives, and the collective energy that I pick up on. I'm like, dang, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to address this. So those parts of your shadow could be surfacing or within others, and people tend to get kind of clingy when this happens. Place your boundaries, okay? Hold your boundaries, enforce them. Teach them though in a loving way, or yourself, okay? Be mindful with yourself. No judgment on yourself if you're also feeling codependent. Um, like the need to have someone else there, or to lean on someone else, or just to, fill the air with noise to be able to talk to someone else, right? So if you have these kinds of issues surfacing right now, it's time to sit with those. It's time to get to the root of those, understand why those are showing up for you. We do have also Eight of Wands reversed on the bottom of the deck. So things aren't moving forward. Eight of Wands in the upright, that's quick forward moving momentum. This is actually more like right now in this reading for me, it's like going back very quickly. So if you catch yourself slipping, catch yourself falling into old patterns of behavior or beliefs about yourself or about others, your cat and you are totally codependent. That's okay. We can't help but have a codependent relationship with our animals, right? They depend on us for their very survival. So in that way, they do reciprocate though. So it's a good thing. But things could be really going backwards for you right now. I've been revisiting my shadow work this week. My family are my issue. Yeah, it's usually the ones closest to us, our family members, that trigger these things to come up, that can really get under our skin too, where we might be able to hold that composure with almost anyone else. The people that are closest to us are usually our safe space. So we tend to kind of act up a little bit more around them, whether they're doing that to you, you're doing that to them, or it's just some like triggers surfacing. That's okay. They're surfacing so that you can deal with them, so that you can overcome these shadows, these aspects of you that you haven't integrated or haven't healed, haven't looked at for quite some time. Usually has a lot of emotions in there, okay? Two of Pentacles also showing up in the reverse. You're not meant to continue juggling all of these emotions, because a lot of the time you're not even aware of the emotions that you do have kind of underlying there. So it does take something to trigger those things to surface them. So if that's been happening for you right now, just move through it, maintain your balance as well as you possibly can. Assert yourself, right? Advocate for yourself when need be. But also have grace and have patience with others, because they're also going through similar things. So Two of Pentacles in the reverse, it's stop the juggling act. It's time to really sit down, really focus on these shadow aspects of you, okay? Because that's what your mission is. That's what your life purpose is, to heal yourself, to heal the world. And we have that card that showed up over here in just a second. I'll bring that up. Raising consciousness, sharing your light, and ripple effect. If you're so deep in shadows that you can't even find your light, how are you going to spread that light to others? You can't even absorb it yourself. Okay. Heal yourself first, and that energetically ripples out to others. You don't even have to ever come in contact with another for that energy to impact them. Okay. Victory, accomplishing goals, relish in your success. Use this time where things are either on pause or things are just really rapidly moving backwards, even for some, um, and that can happen. We can spiral if one of our manifestations doesn't come to fruition, or if it backfires in our face, it can still impact us in a way where it takes all of the wind out of our sails. It really strips us of that confidence that we gained by, oh, I'm a master manifester. Oh, I manifested this and I manifested that. Oh, miracles everywhere. And then retrograde shows up and it blows some shit up. And then we're like, like, I thought I was really good at manifesting, but now it's like the whole world is against me, and the universe is against me and doesn't want me to do anything. And I'm just going to sit here in a sad sack of, shit pile, just relishing in these awful emotions. If that's your idea of a party, then go right on ahead, but it ain't gonna be me. That'll get you 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, that'll get you feeling very depleted, very much in lack, and that will cause you to really manifest more lack, more things to lack, more situations where you are lacking. So it's good to address these things while you can. Ascension trap, beware of these things. Hi, Sonia. This is false state of being and seeing what your mind creates to be. Your mind creates your experience. So if you have something backfire and then you fall down into that downward spiral, that's an ascension trap. It's keeping you from ascending, you know, higher in frequency, it is ultimately helping you to ascend past. Hi, Wendy. Ascend past these things, but sometimes we can get caught in that stagnation, right? And we have to be able to get ourselves up out of that energy. But how do you do that? You do it by sitting with the energy, by working through it, and you will turn into a bear. Yeah, for real. So you are a warrior. You're not meant to fight against everything that you encounter. That's where picking your battles comes into play, being, mindful of where you're placing your energy and your focus. Stop lying to yourself. Okay. Stop saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Oh, this didn't work out, so I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead here. Where are you ahead? Tell me. If you quit with the first mistake, the first backslide, and you just throw your hands up and allow yourself to just go with the flow of that downward spiral of manifesting your reality, then go right on ahead. But this is a karmic lesson. This is to help you overcome, okay? These things where we seem to be backsliding, it's just practice. It's just, letting go of the residual energy that we carry with us from other tough experiences that we've had. So don't allow one single slip up to cause you to spiral. Allow it to cause you to look for more solutions. You don't just run into an issue and try one, a problem, try one solution, and that solution doesn't work. So we're just going to leave the problem here and not ever focus on it again. Nothing would get fixed that way, right? So this is helping you to be able to overcome, push through it until you get what you deserve. Exactly. And Kara is prime example of that one for sure. This is going to cause major shifts for you, okay? Momentum into a new timeline or reality. But you got to tie up these lessons. These are residual lessons, things that you've been working on, things that you already have the tools for, things that you already have, the wisdom and the mental focus to overcome. But it's like, I'm sick of having to fight the same battle. I'm sick of having to deal with the same problem. I want a cure-all solution. Well, your cure-all solution is going to be your dedication to yourself, to strengthening yourself, to seeking solutions outside of the box when necessary, right? Becoming resourceful. Human beings are the most resourceful creatures ever. You're coming out of this period of 5 of Wands, of that practice, of that being forged in the fire, of battling every single thing that comes up, or having multiple things to have to deal with, confront. This could be, like me, having multiple different errands and aspects of life in the 3D land that I have to take care of, or else, I'm kind of screwed. I'm all there is. So it's me and myself and I. And then I have some amazing friends and support system around me. Shockingly, because I just moved here knowing only one family unit. So I have some amazing people around me, and I've created those bonds, and whenever I have a problem that I can't overcome by myself, I know that I have other ways of getting that support, of getting that help. So even if you have so much going on right now, it's because you need to prioritize your time, your energy, your focus, deal with these things that are coming up in the 3D right now, because Mercury retrograde, it's bringing shit up that's not working or that's breaking that we need to fix, right? So that we can have a clear slate moving forward, so that we can tie up all of these things, and then we can go on to that next platform up where we've already ascended there. Our energy is there. We're just tying up and letting go of the old energies that can't ascend with us. So that's what we're doing. We're tying up these things before we move forward. And we have the Empress card showing up with the Fool, and the Chariot, all three in a row, actually. So 3 major arcana, okay? The Fool, the Empress, and the Chariot. Things are propelling forward in a major way. This is new beginnings with that Fool card. This is, jumping off of that cliff, taking that trust leap, that leap of faith into that Empress energy. You are open to receiving all of the abundance, all of the things that you deserve. And you're getting really good about deciphering what is worthy of your time, energy, and focus, and what is not. So that's why these things are all coming up. If you need to, let a few fall at the wayside if they're not going to cause any great impact right now, right? Yeah, that's Duncan. He's crying. He wanted to come in, but I'm busy right now, and he knows it. He walked away. And the Chariot, propelling forward into this new reality, into this new chapter, and being fully open to all of the abundance that it brings. But first, visualize. Hey, Jay, love you. Visualization, that's seeing yourself in the desired outcome, and patience with divine timing. Trust the process, okay? Even if the process is not fun, even if it sucks big hairy balls, suck it up and do it, okay? Just sit there and wait, because divine orchestration is at play, all right? You're going to find out those big hairy balls were nothing but some funky looking little chocolates that some kind of eccentric chocolate maker made. They make butthole ones, so I'm sure they make ball ones. Let me know if anybody knows that. Does anyone know about the butthole chocolates? I cracked myself up. Okay, patience, because you are unbinding yourself from everything that is holding you back. Releasing of fears, worries, and doubt. Fears may surface right now. A lot of them have for a lot of people. So confronting them and working with those fears and understanding them, integrating all of these things and overcoming them ultimately is how you're going to unbind yourself. Just don't choke on the hair. Yeah. Yeah, you need to be alive for the next phase. So Queen of Swords in the reverse. If you're feeling like everything's going to hell in a handbasket and you're freaking out, you're really afraid of what's coming, you've got, that divine feminine energy is closed down. You're like, I don't want what's about to come to me, because this is looking, this is feeling, this is seeming like it's going to be catastrophic. It's going to be awful. You're going to have to let shit go. Okay. You have to sacrifice certain things in order to receive what you want. So this is going to cause you to sacrifice or let go of the things that you didn't need anyway. Okay. It's like having a really heavy pack. You're on a hike, but you've got like a kitchen sink in there. You've got like all these random things. You got a couple bags of marbles and all this shit that you're not going to need for the hike. Basically, you need snacks, you need water, you need, some kind of warmth in case you get stuck and something gets cold. You need a first aid kit. Those are all the necessities you're going to want in your bag whenever you're on a hike, okay? You're not going to want to take a whole bunch of extra shit, random toys and random finds and things like that. You're just going to weigh yourself down, and that's too heavy of a burden to get up to the top of the mountain, okay? You're winded, okay? Maybe you're out of shape a little bit. Lighten the pack, Set down the purse, like Kara's higher self would say. Hey, Patrick, feed what you want, starve what you don't. Exactly. It's all about what you feed your focus and attention on. So if you're focusing on some kind of an injustice that really just hits you emotionally and you're just raving mad or super upset and or fearful, whatever it is, you're focusing on that, and that's very intense emotion. Any of those emotions I just listed are super intense. Whenever you couple your focus with any kind of emotion, it's going to manifest more of what you're focusing on. So imagine having such intense emotion packed behind that fucking arrow that's shooting directly at that thing that you're afraid of or angry at or really sad by. You're just going to get more of it. So pulling back that focus, working with the emotions because they were triggered for a reason, right? And working through those, and then moving through the fears. And if it's a legit fear, like don't do this, don't step off this literal cliff or else you're going to go splat, then please listen, okay? I'm feeding my face. Nice. I haven't eaten yet today, and my tummy was starting to growl before the podcast, but I'm going to let Duncan in, or else he's just going to come back and keep crying. Come on, Duncan. Come on, buddy. Okay. Go have your afternoon snack. All right. So we're unbinding ourselves from these things. And that Queen of Swords reversed is also next to the Six of Wands reverse. This could be even someone talking negatively to or about you, spreading gossip, spreading rumors, or just someone who wants to act like they're above everyone else. Maybe you're dealing with this. That, my dear, especially if it's job related, we have the career card showing up here, pay raise, new position or opportunity, especially if it's in the work sphere. If you're dealing with someone who is just a bitch, whether they're male or female, doesn't matter, because very masculine men can express a very dominantly wounded feminine energy as well. Donkey says, finally, the people want to see my furry butt. Yeah, no, he's gonna eat, and then he's probably gonna take a nap. Oh, anyway, so if this has to do with your job, if someone like if someone got a promotion ahead of you and they just did it by stealing your ideas and passing them off as their own or whatever the case, have patience, because the it's like the knot is untangling. They're showing me, like, I don't know if any of you have ever had a sewing kit that you didn't take care of, or your grandmother or great grandmother or someone had a sewing kit with just a bunch of thread in it and it got all jumbled up and knotted together, um, that's what they're showing me in my mind's eye. So it's like, yeah, it's a tricky little knot of a bunch of different types of threads that are all intertwined and knotted up pretty good here, but it is releasing, it is becoming unbound. Things are untangling, and clarity is going to surface. The truth is going to surface. That's what this period is all about too. That's why it plays in so well with karma season, is it'll bring past anything to the surface, right? So people will be receiving their karma, and perhaps they'll even have to fire the person over the whole situation, and then you'll be scot-free and you'll be leaping in these fields off a cliff like, fuck yeah, I'm free. I heard off with their heads. So I don't know if it's that kind of energy, like someone that's just like, if you don't think like me, if you don't behave like me, if you don't function in a way that I approve of in my very high, very stringent standards, then I'm going to scream at you, berate you, like make work life a living hell. This could be a family member or a friend or anything like that too. And if so, then you know what to do. We don't keep that shit around. Endurance is the key to success. I like it. Bottom of the deck energy. Endurance is the key to success. You have to continue moving forward, because even if you stop, energy is still in motion. That's all it's going to do. So if you stop and you stagnate, you're still going to be in this little whirlpool of those same ass emotions, same ass traumas, same ass situations, remanifesting in a loop. Okay. If you want to get out of that shit, then you need to push forward. Endurance is the key to success, discipline, self-worth, boundaries, enforce this shit and keep moving forward. If someone tries to fuck with you, get them out your path and keep your eyes on your own lane. You came to serve. Sometimes it's serving up karma, okay? We don't always get to pick and choose our jobs. We're instruments for the greater good. And sometimes these instruments for the greater good have to play some low keys, all right? So if you are the deliverer of karma, don't allow that to like cause guilt within you. It's okay to feel kind of like, that really sucks, but don't take on that guilt because they've sown the seeds that they're now reaping. Okay. So if you got to serve up some karma, then baby, that's what we're having today. Okay. We have safety also on the bottom of the deck, freedom from hurt. So you are protected as you move through the situation. Hi, Mala. Love you. You are protected. You are safe. Even if you're experiencing some turbulent waters right now, you're safe. You're protected. Water is your friend, okay? Water loves you. Water ain't going to let any kind of harm come to you. And Kara's reading, I don't know why it keeps coming up, Kara, but you're being a great example here. She was a male, a native whose tribe just got completely decimated, and he made it out with his wife. It was nighttime and they barely snuck out like by the skin of their teeth, and they jumped in the river. That was the only way to get away from these people. And the water was swift and it was, moving really scary, okay, for just little people at nighttime in the dark to be popping their little tiny selves into this great big giant dark stream, river of water. But they were carried, at the top of the water and just kind of floated down until it was a safe place to exit the river. So water was like, yeah, I I saved them. I held them up. So that's basically the energy that I'm getting here, is like you're being carried, you're being guided, even if you don't see, even if it's invisible forces. They're supporting you, they're guiding you, they're carrying you forward to the next phase. I felt like I unraveled and blocked. I can sound childish, but it was a major energy core. Yeah. I block people when necessary too. That's boundaries, baby. You don't need to have anyone having access to you that is draining you. So it absolutely isn't childish to reserve your energy and not give it away for free. Hardly anyone around me, just in my lane. Yes, Wendy, love it. We all stay in our own lane, baby. And then that's tribe. Flowing. Thank you, Water. Yes. We have tribe showing up, card number 26. This talks about community or community with the same values. So you may be releasing a lot, people, places, things, etc. But that's making way for all of these true energies to come to you, to be able to find you, to gravitate to you. All the things that not only people, but situations, manifestations that you are worthy and deserving of, but you've got all these low frequency people or situations that you still kind of fuck with in your life that need to go. And that's it. And then you're going to be ascended. You're going to be on cloud 9, and then they can make it too, because you've showed them, hey, look what they did down here in this frequency, and then look what they did, and now they're up there and they're getting everything that they ever wanted. It takes devotion to yourself with that devotion card. Okay, be fully devoted to you, your health, your wellness. Sacred worship. Worship yourself. That's what she's doing. She's worshiping her own body. She knows she's everything that she'll ever need, and then some. So anyone else that comes around had better be fucking worthy, or else they're not going to be able to stick around getting, flowers dropped on them, getting rained on by all the flowers and the beautiful essences. So continue moving forward. We have guidance and we have one spirit guide, one way. So you are guided, you are supported, you are being carried gently to the next phase, the next chapter. It may not seem gently to you, but trust me, there are way more difficult situations that can get you to the same outcome if you take a side quest, okay? If you take this more difficult path, you'll still get there. it'll just take a bit longer, and you're going to have to go through a bunch of other bumpy, rough terrain and maybe some cliffs you're going to have to rappel down and then back up and cross some major bodies of water. You don't got a boat or a canoe or nothing. So, I mean, it's up to you. You're going to get there because what's for you is never going to miss you, but it may take a whole lot more of divine timing for that to happen. So, just continue powering forward, powering through, because this is the time to do it. This is the time to deal with all of these things that are surfacing, because when these planets go direct again and we're out of all of this eclipse energy and all of these things, then you're going to propel even more, much farther ahead. I'm like, more farther doesn't work. Much farther ahead. Okay, so you need a spiritual hug. It's a lot of work. It's draining. It can be lonely at times to go through these kinds of things on your own, but you're never alone. You always have at least one guide that's completely hands-on with you, working with you, creating miracles, creating opportunities, all of these things just to get you where you need to go. They're doing all the work behind the scenes. And more often than not, it's more than one. Okay. But there's always at least one guide that is kind of holding your hand through everything. Even if you don't hear them, see them, feel them, sense them, if you feel like everything's going to shit, they're still there. But they have to take a back seat because you're the driver. So they can give you all of the knowledge, all of the tools, all of the everything that you're going to need and keep you protected and give you the opportunities to do the work. But if you're just sitting on your ass, then they're going to have to just sit back and be quiet because you have to do the work. You have to do the next step to get you guys to the next step where they can come and help some more. So call on them, ask them for more guidance, ask them to help you, to feel loved and supported through this time, because they will. And you may feel like some kind of like tingling on your skin or warmth or even cool, or just some kind of like a different feeling on your skin, like they're giving you a hug. That's definitely possible. You can ask for that. Okay. Support. They're here to support you. You also have your soul tribe. Everyone here, reach out in the group if you need some support. If you're going through a hard time, you can post anonymously if you want. That's more than okay. You have that ability to do so in the group if you'd like to. But you have support, not only your spirit team, but you have soul tribe. You have others that would love to help you if you reach out. But a lot of the times people think, oh, well, I'm in a community full of psychics and sensitives, and they should just be able to read my mind or read my energy and intuit. Even if we do pick up on something, we're not always going to reach out and ask how we can help, because we're also conserving our energy too. And we're also going to respect other people's energy and their boundaries. And we figure if you didn't want to share it with us, then we ain't going to say shit. But sometimes one of us will pipe up and say something if we feel the need to. But you also have to initiate, you have to be the one to ask for help. That's Empress energy right there. That's being open to receiving, is, the action of just asking for help sometimes. Okay. That's proving that you're open to receiving something. So if you're closed off usually and you're like, I do it myself, I'm toxically independent, because that's a thing. Ask me how I know. Then open up and ask for help. Okay. Reach out to those that you can for support, because there's always someone there. And if you tell me that's not true, then join our Facebook group and then put a post up and see what happens. Okay. You have to heal yourself to heal the world. That's part of your mission, is to heal the world. You're not doing it on your own. We're all contributing in our own way, all of the volunteers that are here. And the way that we do that is we heal ourselves and we create our own realities and we show other people how it's done, or we just let our energy rub off on them. And then they start to assume that frequency and become the master creators that they also are. So it is top priority for you to focus on yourself and your own well-being and heal yourself, because if you're not healed, if your oxygen mask ain't on, how are you going to help any fucking buddy else? Okay. You're not going to have it. You're going to be passed out, probably sucked out of the plane by then. All right. So heal yourself. Success, accomplishment of one's goals. You are successful. You've healed this far. Okay. What's more healing going to do? It's going to make you wiser. It's going to make you lighter. It's going to make you freer. It's going to make you more joyful. So why not? Aren't you sick and goddamn tired of agonizing? It's not just being in pain or it's like agony. I don't know for who this is for, because I know not all of you are experiencing this. But haven't you had enough? Don't you want to see how it feels to live a different way? To not carry that burden, no matter how big or small? Heal yourself so that you can send that healing out to others. Send out help to others. Okay, this is being, hi Corey, love you. This is being independent, successful, having your shit together mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that you can be that rock for others whenever your energy reserves are sufficient enough to do that, right? Because we don't overextend, we don't pile too much on our plate. I know I'm guilty. I'm still working on it. I'm not perfect, and I've got to take this advice just as much as y'all. But that's what it's all about. That's why humans are a social species, is because we're meant to be, self-sustaining, but also to build these communities. Because when you have um, gifts, talents, and abilities, and then I have some, but mine are way different from yours, and then Earl has some, but his are way different than ours, and then we've got like this whole village of people out here with different interests and different gifts and talents. We come together as a community, barter and trade, and we take care of each other. Hey, you do this work for me, I'll give you a fish. Hey, you help me with this thing and I'll build you a barn, whatever it ends up being. Okay. Or hey, let me do a healing for you and you can give me a reading. Hey, let me do a hypnosis for you and you can do a healing on me, whatever it is. So that's what it's all about, is becoming independent, becoming self-sufficient, healing thyself, and then saying, hey, I see you struggling right there. I went through something similar. This is how it worked for me. Show them how to do shadow work. Whatever your skill is, whatever you're good at, whatever you've been through and overcome. Goodbye, Earl, because Earl had to die. I love bartering too, Patrick. This is the way of the old earth and the new earth. Okay. I've been watching a lot of port protection these past couple of days. And I love watching these like wilderness shows where people go off grid and like go out and, do their thing. I love it. I've done it many times. I was raised by a sportsman, hunter and fisher. So I couldn't help but come into that kind of lifestyle and interests, and I have my own talents, things that I learned. Let's bring shit back. Yes, exactly. Bring it back by example. So it's being really good at being us first and foremost. And then when we're good at being us, we can also help others who might need a piece of what we got to offer. And then they've got something, just as worthy, but so different. And it's something that we also need. So if we were all, if there were only a few of us that were self-sufficient and that, spent our time and effort helping everybody else, we probably wouldn't be able to focus on our own homestead, right? We probably wouldn't be able to focus on our own life and what we have going on. And we would be scattering ourselves, scarcely thin. And then what? You're not prepared for yourself. You're not solid in your own energy anymore. Now you're completely depleted. You've given all of that to others, right? And you have nothing for yourself. And then these others, there might be you and another strong person doing all of this work and tending to everyone else's needs because they don't want to get up off their ass and do the work themselves. How long do you really think that that's going to be sustainable? if at all. Okay. So you have to be fully energized and solid in your own energy before you can go really co-creating anything worth having with others who are also solid in their own energy and their own gifts and do their own shit, right? So we can't just give to all these people that are leeching off of our energy or expect others to give us all of their energy and deplete them because we can't stand alone in our own energy. That's what codependence really is. It's not being able to sustain your own energy in some type of way where you feel the need to leech onto another and siphon their energy. It's not we're creating this energy together by any means. Okay. I don't care how delusional you are. If you're not sustaining your own energy and you are coupled up with someone who is fully sustaining their energy, or something that they're doing sustains you in some way, you're still depleting, you're siphoning, you're not contributing. So that is toxic as fuck. If that's you, stop it. You've been watching me long enough, right? You should know better. But if that's other people doing this to you, stop it. If you've been watching me this long, you should know better. Okay. So we need to sustain ourselves, strengthen ourselves, build up ourselves and our own life circumstances so that we can help someone out that doesn't know how to do that, but they can contribute to you, whether giving you money or bartering their own services, their own energy. Relationships all work like this. People don't want to think of it like that, but it really is. It's giving your energy to receive energy in return. That's how successful relationships work. But if we have one of them leeching, not sustaining, not generating any of their own energy, then they're going to throw everything off balance because they're going to completely deplete the other, who is the only one that is generating any energy. They're going to suck them dry to where they're just, short circuiting and fall flat, no energy. And then what's the leech going to do? The leech is going to go find another host. Whether that's you or another person, they're going to go find another host. You're going to go find another host. Is that toxic or is that healthy? I'll let you ponder on that one. But follow your intuition, because you're meant to ascend. And if you're on this track, you've been doing the healing work, you've been doing all of the work on yourself and preserving your energy and maintaining those boundaries, then you are leveling up. Think of it like a bow and arrow. You have to draw the string back. It doesn't mean that it's going backwards. It might go backwards in a real quick hurry just for, until a certain point when it's fully cocked, and then you let it go. That shit flings and it propels that arrow way farther than, the distance that you did the pull back on. So think of it this way. Think of this time as that bow that you're just pulling back. So yeah, it might be regressing over a few different lessons and things coming up from the past, but now it's going to surge forward in a big way, and you're going to hit your target just as long as you maintain that focus on your goals, just as long as you follow that intuition and you know what you're doing. Follow the synchronicities, know that divine timing is at play here, okay? Pay attention to the signs. Let the signs solidify your confidence. Let the signs really drive home that emotion that it's here, it's on its way. I'm doing the work, I've done the work, things are getting better, even though in my immediate circumstances it might not look like things are getting better yet. I trust that they are, because all of these signs are telling me so. But you got to listen to that guidance, guys, because otherwise you're cut off from your source. And when you're cut off from your source, what kind of abundance can you really make? Okay. So I love you. That is that. And let's talk about co-creation and independence for a few minutes before I get off of here and then trek my ass to town, because I need to go to the weed shop and I need some groceries. Things that I can only get at a larger store than the one here in town. So I got to go. Of course, you're welcome. Thank you. When I hold up boundaries to a codependent vampire, they have a fit about it. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. Oh, well. Whenever you place boundaries with someone who is taking advantage and they're used to, being able to get your energy, whatever way it is, whenever they want, you place those boundaries, they're going to be pissed off. But that's only because you're taking something that they were already siphoning to begin with. So you're cutting them off of that and they're going to be pissed off. But they'll go find another host. That's how it always works. How many miles? I think it's like between 50 and 60 miles away, I think, down the mountain. So it takes about 45 minutes each way, depending on weather conditions. If it's a nice clear day or weather conditions are permitting, it will take me 30 minutes to get there. So about an hour and a half round trip. You're welcome, Ben. You're welcome, Matt. Thank you, guys. It is. So I usually make it like a once a week trip. But I like driving. It's a beautiful drive too. So it's like my meditation time. I have the music blasting always. You have to drive that far to go to good stores too. Yeah. The place I lived before this in California, I was in the middle of nowhere in California Valley, and I had to drive an hour to town either way, whether I was going to the coast or inland. I was kind of smack dab in between the coast and then like the closest inland town to that location. Oh yeah, there's pyramids. There's great walls that were blown up and collapsed over, but you can see there were like layers, like castle walls, Um, I don't know if any of you know about old castles. Probably a lot of you do, especially those of you in the UK where they have them. Um, they have like the outside wall for, the defense wall, and then they have like inner walls, inner structures, or I know they used to when they first built them. Some of these things might have fallen by now, but some of them might still be intact. Anyway, you have these different levels to the city with these walls that kind of go in. That's what it is like here, but they're all like they they collapsed. So you can see it was some kind of huge catastrophic type of an event too. Oh, the weed store is only 10 minutes away from you. Lucky. They don't want to do it in our town because we got a bunch of we have more churches in town than we have anything else. Okay, there's a church almost on every corner. It's a bit ridiculous. So I wish that was weed stores in the county. That would be amazing. But some reason people still believe they need a church. So yeah, hopefully once these old timer voters are out of here, we'll be able to vote it in to get stores in our county. But I have to drive the next county over. But like I said, I got to go there for groceries and stuff too, stuff that we can't get here in town because it is a tiny, tiny little town. Get the boys to record a clip while you drive. Oh, cool. Yeah, I can record it. Oh, me too, Wendy. I love exploring. But there's a pyramid. It's a small one, but it's a pyramid and it's covered by a lot of dirt and debris from, many, 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 many years of being covered up, but I can see it. So yeah, it's really interesting. This land is really interesting. But so just I don't know if any of you guys have seen Port Protection. I found it on Hulu and I watched the 6th and 8th season on there because those were the ones available. And I was like, well, I want to see what happened on all the other seasons before. So I found out it was on Disney Plus, and so I've been watching it. And I love watching these shows and like off-grid communities and just off-grid people building and things like that. I've always been keen on that kind of thing, and survivalist shows and things like that. I really like them. So every time I'm lifing. Okay. Every time I'm lifing, I see spiritual principles at play. So I'm not so much into the detail of what's going on and the ins and outs of all of that. I'm seeing from like a broader perspective and seeing how, oh yeah, I can see because these energies work like that and these energies work like this. But this show is like the perfect example of what I'm talking about with co-creation and community. Um, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to have tons of plants. They're going to be surrounding my house. I've already got everything establishing. So I haven't had a chance to do a garden at my house yet since I've lived here, but the 5th year is the year. So like with an off-grid type of village community, each person has their own land with their own stuff. They do their own thing. So on this show, it's Alaska, so they fish. A lot of them are commercial fishers to make a little bit of money, but also they do I'll have to find that show. Yeah, it's called Port Protection, and it's in Port Protection, Alaska. But they do trapping to get furs and things like that to make money. But basically, they're just working at the times that the weather is permitting because it's Alaska to, better their own homes, build on their homes, or add gardens or animals or things like that, some of them. But everyone has their own talents, their own experiences. So some of them are really good at fishing, some of them are really good at hunting, some of them are really good at gardening and starting to bring livestock into the picture. But all of them collectively, they're like, I'll give you some eggs if you help me build this community duck barn so we can all have eggs, that kind of thing. So and so is a great carpenter, so and so is a great welder, so and so is really good with being the muscle. So let's get all of the community together to, raise this barn, to fix the town boardwalk, whatever it is. They share resources too. So everyone comes with their talents, comes with materials that they have that can get the job done, because materials are super hard to come by there. So they're all contributing in their own ways for the good of themselves and using their own skills, but also combining them to make things better for the community as a whole. And not only that, if someone in the community is in need, they're not a good carpenter, they don't have good, any knowledge on how to build things, or they don't have the resources that they need, they're going to go to their friends in the village that are actually like family, and they're all going to come together to support whoever is in need, and they're all going to come together and make sure it gets done before that person needs something or something catastrophic happens, all of these things. So off-grid communities are the future, absolutely. The Amish know what's up, right? Kind of. Except for that darn dirty religion. But yeah, I get you. But like some of them are great at foraging, and they'll go forage and then they'll trade, it's being solid and taking care of yourself and being mindful of, hey, I'm going to need this. If I can't do it on my own, I'm going to have to reach out and find my other resources, my other supporters that can come and help me get the job done. But I'm also going to pay that forward and help someone else or help them in return. You've seen it, Wendy. I love it. Just I love people that are very down to earth, authentic, and anyone who really lives off the land is really in touch with the land is just a beautiful gem of a human being. Even if they're quirky, I love them all. I love variety, and I just love watching people be and do what lights them up, what they enjoy doing, because it's beautiful. Try not to cry. I've been emotional, you guys. The past few days. I've been like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I just cry. So this period of time where I've been kind of like trying to keep my balance and getting overstimulated and staying off social media for the last almost a week now. I've also been highly emotional, but in a positive way. I haven't been like, negative about it, but it's just like, oh my God, his dog died and he got a new one and he named it Junior for that dog's Junior. It's like, yeah. Here's your tissue. I got some right here. I always got tissue with me, girl. Ugh. But it's an amazing thing to see humans being exactly what we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to do. It doesn't even have to be some big giant thing. Having community and having these people, but also being able to feel empowered within yourself, that empowers others. And the more that we're empowered in ourselves and empowering each other, it's like, I'm empowering you and him, and y'all are empowering me and each other and everyone around. It becomes this huge growing source of energy. And that's what we're meant to do. We're not meant to be all completely divided and separate. And we're also not meant to be toxically codependent on one another and depleting each other. We should be energizing ourselves and energizing one another with our, abundance of energy. So this boils down to even romantic relationships or friendships. Having to rely on someone, and some people do have to rely on others more because of whatever reasons, physical limitations, mental, emotional limitations. I get it. Okay. But those of you who are able to build yourself up and sustain that and then help spread that out to others, you're meant to do that. And even people who have certain limitations, those certain things may be limitations for them, but they can still contribute in miraculous and amazing ways. Even, children that are born mute and, nonverbal is what we say now, nonverbal, or don't have the capacity to, live on their own once they fully mature and things like that. They're contributing that heart, they're contributing their energy, and that's why they're here in that way, because they're contributing that pure energy. So even if it's someone that can't do anything for themselves, they're still contributing in a big way. Yeah, he went back out and now he wants back in. Leighton came in to put his tablet on my charger and Duncan went out, but now he's wanting back in. Tear up anything that shows people living in their joy. I know. Or people helping other people, or people helping me. I will cry. It's ridiculous, but it happens. And it's not ridiculous. I love that part about me, but when I'm trying to talk, but I can't talk through the tears I'm trying to choke down, I'm trying to get something across, but I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Like, it's not a good time. There's a time and a place for that, okay? And it's not right now. But, so overcoming our own codependence with regard to relationships, that takes a lot of, hey, I'm going to take a weekend or a few weeks. I'm not going to go out to the barbecue, the club, I'm not going to go and have to chase people down to go do something just to be with people, or my partner, I'm not going to make them be around me 24/7 so I control everything that they do because I'm worried that they're going to go find someone else if they walk down the street to the gas station. Like, we can't live like that. It's not a sustainable way to live. And it's proven that, over thousands and thousands of years of this same type of energy, even the people that are off grid, they'll have emotional codependencies too. People do have codependent tendencies a lot of times. I love you too. Thank you, Matt. Oh, thank you, Wendy. I love you. But being able to be fully comfortable in who we are and confident in who we are, that we are more than worthy, that we don't have to, try to hold on to these people that don't really truly value us just because they give us a dopamine hit because, hey, this is a real friend, wink, wink, or this is a real relationship, wink, wink. Okay. No, it's fucking not. If you can't be your authentic self and you can't be solid and secure in yourself, then it's never going to work. Um, and you'll be projecting things onto your friend or onto your partner, these subconscious fears, like the abandonment, right? And men and women say this like about each other constantly. um, and it's not one sex more than the other, but from certain people's perspectives they feel like it is, but it's not. um, Sometimes it manifests in different ways. So abandonment issues could look like, um, let's just for instance, okay, male, okay, toxic masculine, um, better than everybody, but also having to control his partner, whether that's needing to physically control them or mentally emotionally control them, or tell them they can't do certain things, you can't go here, you can't have those friends, you can't this and that, right? We all know the type. um that's abandonment issues, my dear. And then that female who doesn't even let you have a friend at work that's a female, or will only let you talk to other females who they see as ugly or lacking in some way, see themselves as better than these people by far, or else you're not going to communicate with them. You're not going to, and if you do, I'm going to give you the 10th degree. Like, why were you here? How come it took you 3 minutes to get from work to home when it's just a block away, in rush hour traffic? It doesn't matter. It manifests on either side of the coin, the masculine energy or the feminine energy. And it doesn't matter if that's your actual gender, just I was using that as an example. So it could be a masculine born female that's dominating in that way, or vice versa, like an effeminate male born male that acts in that way. It doesn't it's not a biased energy. It manifests through all of these, okay? And it's a lower frequency energy, and it just feels gross. And I see all that energy as like boogers and snot. That's how my guides work with me. So whenever I see that energy, I'm like, whoa. But I used to be codependent. I experienced that with my ex that caused so much trauma with my kids and myself, because I had started having seizures, and then I kind of went in that spiral, like, oh my gosh, now I'm broken because I'm seizing all over the place, short circuiting all over the place. No other person is going to want a broken person that they're going to have to take care of, or make sure that they're not dying whenever they're seizing or whatever. So my confidence level completely diminished, and I let a lot slide that I never would have let slide before or since. But I was beaten down and physically impaired to a degree, so that I became codependent. And I did that so that I could finally find my way out of that and overcome that. And I did get toxically independent there for a little bit, because I was really pissed off and coming out of that energy. I'm like, no, never again. But still, never again. But I'm going to use the people, the true people, the authentic people that I'm magnetizing to myself, because I healed all of those things. And I get to help show others the way whenever they start finding themselves caught up in that energy. So we all have to experience it for one reason or another. So if you're experiencing it now, or you have in the past, or you're yet to experience it, don't judge yourself for it, because it's something that a lot of people end up going through. A majority of people end up going through. So whenever you're able to heal yourself and you start to attract more high frequency individuals, you can see that energy very clearly. You know it very viscerally. Then you know how to avoid bringing that energy back into your life. You choose people with that more ascended soul signature, that more ascended frequency, because it's much better than that boogery frequency, right? So whenever we're doing this, we're empowering ourselves, and we're becoming more confident in ourselves, in our own capabilities, to not only do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves, but also to select the people that we want to have in our life moving forward. We don't want to choose the old narcissists over and over and over again in different flesh suits. We're done with that. We can sense that energy from a mile away. So instead, we're going to bring genuine, authentic people in. Yeah, I did write it into my plan to overcome it. Um, Definitely, for sure. And it seemed like it took forever, but it was only just a little blip because I really wasn't codependent on anyone before that. Um, I was very independent. I was taking care of myself from a very young age. So I think that's why it made me fall into the trap of codependency so easily, was because I was used to being able to be pretty much completely independent, except for, things that I needed other people for. But um, I I didn't have the ability to be independent all of a sudden out of the blue. I couldn't even drive my car without threatening my safety, my daughter's safety. So I had this person that had to do all of those things for me. So, and watch me while I slept sometimes. So, it's really difficult to not become codependent in any kind of situation that's similar to that. It doesn't have to be that specifically, but anytime you feel that your independence is taken from you in some way, or you don't have that to begin with, then it's really hard to be able to find your way out. But you have to build yourself up. You have to start from scratch. And that can be just telling yourself every day from the get go, I can do hard things. I can overcome. I am strong. I am capable. Even if you don't believe it at first, keep telling yourself that. Keep looking yourself in the eyes in that mirror and telling yourself that until you start to believe it. Start doing things, taking little steps out, dipping your toe into the pool of independence, trying to do things that will strengthen that confidence, because it's all about confidence. If you are confident that you can overcome any kind of situation or problem, then you will. Trust me, because I've been that way my entire life. And the times where I wasn't confident, where I didn't feel that I could overcome something, boy, did I get beat, you know, down into the ground, like pile driver into the ground. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, I've developed a lot of strength in different areas, but I was always kind of a tough little cookie. I had to be from a young age. Um, yeah, fake it till you make it. In that aspect, absolutely. You have to convince yourself, right? And you have to be a good enough actor to convince yourself. So get those empathic abilities a going and tell yourself, with conviction, the way that you would tell a friend that was doubting themselves or didn't have any confidence, and you're like, I just want to slap you to, to get your attention. Like, do you not see how bright you are, how amazing you are? See yourself through my eyes. Do the same to you. Because I know every single one of you has had that kind of interaction with someone where you could see so much value and worth in them, and they just didn't see anything within themselves, and you just want to shake them. Do that with yourself, because that's you to you too. Okay. Um, Outside circumstances are always the mirror, remember. So if you wouldn't allow someone that you loved to sit in that soupy, nasty, boogery snot emotion and continue to beat themselves down into it again and again and again and again without saying something, then do that with yourself. Okay. Have the decency to do it for you. And then whenever we are, just like you guys have seen this community grow over the past almost year and a half now, it started out with a lot of people didn't really know how to do shadow work, or these simple now spiritual concepts that now we all know very well. We're all very well versed, and yeah, I'm my own cheerleader. Absolutely, I love that, Katie. You can see in everyone in this community the tremendous growth that's happened in a year and a half. So a lot were not so confident, or just starting to dip their toe in, or maybe not even confident at all. And then now it's like everyone is really standing in their own energy and like stepping onto their path and doing these amazing things, creating these amazing opportunities, integrating and healing and transmuting shit left and right. Lord knows I want to shake a couple of people. Yes, I feel that one for sure. So do it with yourself. When you're feeling less than confident, less than super confident about something, give yourself a pep talk. Be your own cheerleader, you know? Empower yourself. Shine your light so bright that it blinds motherfuckers, okay? And then help other people to do the same. And you don't even have to speak to them or tell them how to do it or do anything like that. Just your energy will rub off on others. Just like the old saying, go rub elbows with, you know, whoever you want to deal with. I don't know what the saying says exactly, but you get the gist. So rubbing elbows with those people or those crowds, their energy will rub off on you. You'll start to assume that kind of energy. People say go rub elbows with rich people because that's going to rub off on you. And it's true, it's energy. Go on. I'm still working.
I did nothing and even karate chopped my neck.
Eamon, keep your hands off my son. Shut the door. Both of you, keep your hands off my son. I wear my sunglasses at night. Yep, blind to the bullshit. So when we all are in a healthy place, we're confident in our own talents, our own skills, we've honed those, we've practiced them, then what happens when we come together with others who are doing the exact same thing? We create miracles. We create worlds. We can manifest the most amazing shit, you guys. So that's what we're meant to do. Empower yourself, become fully independent, not toxically independent, because there is a difference. Be open to asking for help or receiving support whenever you need that. And just fill up your own cup. And when you have more left over, your cup runneth over, then spread it around. So, anybody have anything to say or any questions or anything before I let everyone go? It looks like, yeah, we're just over an hour. We're making good time. We empower each other and ourselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. And everyone you can see in the community on anyone's post, just like in their newsfeed or in the group post, um, anything like that, you see how everyone just comes together to support and to celebrate people's talents, their accomplishments, their creations. So that's what it's all about, is supporting another person. And whenever I'm supporting someone, whenever I'm like giving them compliments and really loving them up and helping to really shore up their confidence, that makes me feel good. So that makes me shine even brighter. That makes me vibe higher because, it's just like this, I don't know, it's amazing. It's a self-sustaining toroid of energy, just like the one in my meditation. So if you haven't experienced that, it's still on my YouTube channel. Also, all of the previous shows from 30 days back and then some, Facebook is no longer storing those past 30 days. So hi, Elena. So if you want to catch any previous episodes, go back through anything and learn a little bit about, whatever is in there, then you'll have to go over to my YouTube channel where they keep everything now. Well, they always have, but Facebook just recently, I don't know if it's just with me because I do a lot of videos or if it's a Facebook wide thing, but they're not keeping live videos past 30 days for me anymore. So, hey, Wendy, we're just about to hop off of here, but glad you could join us. Anywho, tomorrow is going to be another early day. So if you want to catch me tomorrow, it'll be same time. That is 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. GMT. And we'll have something amazing tomorrow too. I have a couple ideas written down, so I'll filter through those and see what I want to do tomorrow. And then I'll let you guys know. I love you so much, you guys. Thank you, Holly. I love you. Love you, Wendy. May the force be with you going to town. I know, right? Everyone's pretty much got their shopping done for the weekend, so it's not going to be as busy when I go in there. So that was my plan all along. But I love you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, Kara. I love you. I'm grateful for our community too. Definitely, Wendy. Watch that replay. I'll see you guys tomorrow.